Hi, good afternoon, everyone. It is Wednesday and it is Cafecito time. I am Valerie Zolezzi-Wyndham, a United Latinas board member and the CEO of Promoting Good. And it's my pleasure to be here with you and to be joined by Caro Ruiz. Hi, how are you?
Hi, Valerie. So nice to see you. Thank you for having me today.
Likewise. Caro, you're a consultant at Together Health Strategies, and I know that you are passionate about networking. So I can't wait to hear your advice from your experience and that our audience will leave with some really practical things they can do in their careers.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to be here today.
Thank you. Sure. So I want to start by asking what networking has done for you, right? What are the key benefits of building a strong professional network, how it's helped you, and how you think it could help others?
No, definitely having a strong, powerful network has many key advantages. I'll go first a little bit about the key advantages. Is one, first about access to opportunities. I do think that, career advancements, business partnerships, collaborations really take place in those one-on-ones, those cafecitos, even like this, sessions. And because sometimes even those roles are not necessarily advertised, and those strong referrals are really the ones that make the difference and help you with your career advancement. Another advantage is about, career advice and support, right? Because through your network, you get a sounding board that can help you overcome some personal or professional challenge that you may have when you need an advice, or talk things through out loud to help you get and go over that bump that you might be facing, and encourage to get to take that extra step when you might be afraid of taking some risk. And then lastly, about foster continuous learning opportunities. Joining organizations such as United Latinas, right, gives you exposes you to diverse perspective, different industries. You can get to know people from different backgrounds, and again, be exposed to areas that you may not be surrounded by or involved in your day-to-day activities, that you can bring back to your workplace and put some action into it. So I think that's really how a strong professional network has helped you. And I'm really, bringing it back to me, right? I've always been focused on building my network, and has helped me, again, continue to grow professionally. And in like I mentioned, every single thing that I mentioned, like with latest trends, emerging technologies in the space that I'm in, or even outside of the healthcare field, and primarily with career advancement.
Thank you, Caro. I think it's so important for all of the reasons that you mentioned, and also because we may be scared to try something out or to test something in our role with our supervisors and our colleagues. And so your professional network is also a place where you can experiment. Agreed. And, have conversations that prepare you for what you're dealing with in the real world. But with, perhaps like with a free trial.
Yeah, and it's like a little push, right? That gives you that push to take you to the next level. And then it's like you can test, fail, but hey, pick up again and then try again. Learn from the mistakes.
That's right. So some people are nervous about networking. Mm-hmm. And, that nervousness can be because people, somebody might be an introvert, or they're nervous because it can feel high pressure. And so what strategies do you see helping overcome that barrier?
Yeah, I think we all have those little butterflies in our stomachs, right? When we are trying to network. But I would say that some of the tips that I will provide are, first, prepare yourself, right? Whether you are having a one-on-one conversation or going to a networking event, which for a large setting, right? Is do some research. Who are you meeting? Who are you speaking to? What is the topic that is being shared at that networking event? Who are those speakers? What is their background? What are the type of questions that you want to ask them, right? What are you trying to get out of that by attending that event or by having that conversation on a one-on-one to that person? Kind of like develop your game plan, right? What is your objective? So then you can really have your mind have a mindset with a goal and objective that you can clearly go with a strong feeling going into that room or to that virtual room to be prepared to talk to different people. And for example, for a networking event, if an attendee list is being shared in advance, I encourage everyone to then go through that attendee list to see if there's anyone of interest that you would like to talk to or get to know to, or a company that you would like to learn more about, because that you can just walk the room and find those key people that you would like to specifically go to and have that conversation and be prepared to say, well, what is it that you want to know and get to know them about? Is it a job opportunity, or is it an emerging trend that you want to know about, or whatever it may be? And if you're going through a networking event, lastly, it could be bring a friend to help you with your nervousness. And one other thing that it would be, just never forget your power pose so then you can go in and kill it. So then you can calm your nervousness down.
Yeah. What would you mind sharing your secret?
For
sort of like your power pose, like how do you?
Oh, it's the Wonder Woman power pose.
I love it.
Yes, that's mine. I always go for it. Before doing a speaking engagement, I did it before entering this virtual meeting, so it is.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it. I mean, I don't know that I do a pose, but I say to myself inside my head, I'm going to have good conversations. I'm worthy of the conversations I'm going to have. And so I think each of us will find the thing that works for us that can be really helpful in those moments. I just got back from a week in Mexico where I did a tremendous amount of networking at a whole host of different kinds of events. And, I think especially in large events, one of the things that I tell myself is, because I'm a pretty social person, but it is exhausting to be networking for days. And so I remind myself it isn't about the volume of people who you meet. It's about the stronger connections that you make. And so I think we don't have to feel the pressure to meet everyone. I think we can network until we're not feeling that spark anymore. And then that's okay. Sometimes, less is enough.
Yeah. And it goes all about, making that connection, right? Making it meaningful, because that's how you're going to make it memorable. It's a two-way street conversation. So then that person will remind you, remember you. And going back about calming your nervousness down, right? Just remember, we're all people, right? And just think about whatever that person might be, or whichever level of the organization. It's just like plain level field, it's like just treat them as any other regular person that it might be. They at the same time, they're also interested in you to talk to you. So just take it as just a normal conversation.
Yes, no, I think that's good advice. And I think sometimes they need our help as much as we need their help. And so remembering that and offering, asking, what can I do for you? Somebody who I met with last week shared that advice with me. And I think it's really, really good advice. It isn't only about offering, you're not only selling yourself, you're inviting collaboration, you're inviting problem solving, and there can be great opportunity there. So I'd love to hear what has been most impactful networking connection that you have made in your career, and how that relationship was formed and grew?
It's a tough one to answer because I have a very strong, I would say, network, and I would say all of them have always helped me in some capacity at a moment in time when I've needed it. So, but one of them has been the longest lasting one. I would say it happened many years ago when I was working at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Massachusetts. And it was actually a speed networking event that was organized by the company so that internal employees can get to know each other. And I had the opportunity to meet Sue John at this event. And during the 2 minutes that we had during the speed networking conversation, we connected immediately. And ever since, it's been 15 years of our friendship and mentorship relationship that we have been able to continue to connect and support each other, and throughout our different paths that we have taken ever since. So we've nurtured our relationship throughout the years.
And when you look back on that relationship, do you think that person knows how helpful it's been to you?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I think it's mutual, right?
Yeah.
Going back to what you were saying, it's a two-way street, right? And it's all about making it a meaningful connection. And it's practicing that effective listening. Like, how can I best support you here today? Am I listening to you? Do you want advice? Do you want support? Right? In our conversations whenever we meet, and ensuring that I'm there to support the person that, in this case, Sue or whomever I'm meeting with. But yes, that's how we've been able to. And it's not all about, meeting all the time and very frequent, right? It's really just making sure that every time we connect, again, it is meaningful and impactful for the two of us, so that it's memorable, and that we're asking ourselves the meaningful questions, and again, pushing each other to think differently and to take that action and the next steps. It's the quality of the interaction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I have a few people in my network who I'm not in touch with very often, but who I know I can reach out to if I have a need that's within their expertise. And so you're not necessarily, it's not necessarily about making, a deep personal relationship that feels constant all the time. It's like esa amiga that you've had forever, right? Who you cannot see for years, but then when you connect, it's really, really deep.
Yeah, and for example, like Sue and I are not in touch all the time, but we do make an effort to meet at least 3 times a year. And especially nowadays, for trying to nurture our relationship, and if not with others, right? There's like the social media, right? For example, with LinkedIn, right? You can utilize it to celebrate accomplishments, right? So then it's just like the nice touch of like, oh, congratulations on your anniversary. It's nice to hear from you. Or like, oh, they posted an article, right? Where you can comment and have that touch and like soft check-in without, burden. It's not all the time that you need to reach out for support and advice or a question, right? It's just simply can just be, hi, hello, just thought of you, or that you saw an article and you just forwarded it to them. It's like, I thought this might be of interest to you. Well, just thought of you and just checking in to say hello. It's not about the frequency. It's about the interaction and the quality of that interaction, that you go and make it memorable, to continue and nurture that relationship throughout the years.
Yep. And we can network. I mean, I think right now, LinkedIn is a hard place to be. And And so I think about not only that opportunity to build network in person or at events, but also to think about, I mean, every comment that you place on somebody's post, or every message that you send is a mini networking opportunity, and that you can then convert into a live networking opportunity when you see people in person. And so those are also ways for folks who are maybe nervous about the interpersonal interaction to build a network, fully online. And right now, when there's so much silence and impressions are so much fewer on LinkedIn, I think there's a lot of power in investing the time to make that comment, to make that connection, because I think people are craving it. And so I don't know if you have any thoughts about networking on LinkedIn.
No, I'm in agreement with the comment that you just mentioned, right? It is another tool for us from a professional perspective, right? To continue to connect and keep the relationship and nurturing your network, and then keeping up sharing updates as to where you are in latest information about, what your key takeaways from conferences that you've attended. At least that's a lot of what I use it for. I like to share what I'm learning. It's not so much about, I have a lot of knowledge consumption when I go to a conference, right? But then I want to do, okay, what is my knowledge action that I want to do with everything that I'm learning? So it's like, okay, I want to spread the word through LinkedIn post, so then I can share some of the key takeaways, besides also bringing that information and taking some action in the workplace. So then again, sharing the wisdom with everyone. And that's the opportunity when someone replies to that post, right? Then it's like, oh, I haven't heard from you. Why don't we just connect and about X, Y, and Z, or or I haven't talked to you in a while. Why don't let's have an opportunity to have like 15 minutes. And it doesn't have to be because I feel like sometimes with networking, people can feel that it's a lot of time commitment and burdensome, right? So when another advice for people when they're outreaching, it's just like, I just want 15 minutes of your time, right? It's no more than that, or even just maybe 20 if you want to make it that. So then it's just like very succinct, straight to the point. And again, it's going back to being prepared with what you'll want to accomplish with that conversation. Yeah. But it's an entryway, using the LinkedIn as an entryway to connect with others.
Absolutely. Thank you, Caro. And I look forward to, I think we are now connected on LinkedIn, and I look forward to seeing what you put on there, and, and to building our networking relationship. Because I think even, when you do an event like this, it's an opportunity to start a network and to figure out how we can be of support to each other as we do our work.
I agree. Yeah, because they're learning from like we might be from like different or similar industry, right? But it's through connecting we can just learn from each other and have different perspectives. But we always know someone that can help you, your business, grow your business, learn or support you, whichever challenge you might be facing through. So it's all about the community and supporting each other.
Absolutely. So I want to close with a question about how you maintain these connections over time. And so maybe aside from your relationship with Sue, could you share, 2 or 3 top strategies that have served you?
So as top strategies, I think I've touched base a little bit throughout. It's not so much about the frequency of the touch points. It's really about the quality and the meaningful of that connection. It's that mutual benefit, because it is a two-way street. So it is about reaching out to them when in need, when an advice, but also every so often just having that check-in to say, hello, just thought of you, or again, that article or that milestone success that you want to congratulate them through social media. But again, it's about making it memorable, and so then they always think of you in the future, and that door continues to remain open. And even, for example, just recent, I reached out to a I would say informal mentors sponsor that I had at a previous company. And I was like, I just want to know, what do you think about this companies? And he says and then he gave me his feedback right away. And this was just over email, not even a conversation. It doesn't have to be always a one-on-one virtual or in-person conversation. And he replied I enjoy being your sounding board, so please do not hesitate to reach out when you have a question. So don't be afraid of reaching out, because people are willing to help and support you in with the challenge or the questions or the advice that you need throughout your personal in your career. And going back to nurturing, right? It's just remembering that it's a two-way street, and then it's going back to how can I support you, right? It's not only about your personal gain, but also how can you support and give back to the person that's helping you as well.
Yeah. And so I think that's really good advice. We don't want to only be taking, we want to be giving. And so when we see those people who we admire, who we have this kind of relationship with, we also want to be sending them signals that we see their work, that we like what they're doing, that we appreciate their success, and even, that if they ever need something of us, they should ask. I think more people want to help than we think.
Yes.
Yeah,
I agree. So then it's like, don't be afraid of just reaching out. The worst that can happen is that they don't respond, right? Because they might be busy and so on with work, and who's not nowadays, right? But just give it a try.
Thank you. Well, it's been so fun to talk with you about networking. I want to close with a question. I'd like to close with advice for something people could do next week. And I know we did not plan for this question, so you can take a minute to think about it. What is something that you want to suggest that our audience do next week to build or leverage their network?
Okay. So I would say go through either your LinkedIn connections or at work, right? People that you look up to, right? That you see as a leader that you would like to definitely connect with, and identify 3 people, again, that you look up to, that you see as leaders, that you would like to learn from them as to either how they got to where they are today, or how they grew professionally, got to where they are today professionally. So have that conversation with them and have the I would say, take the step of reaching out to them either through LinkedIn or via email at work and say, I'm interested in having a chat with you to learn about your background, your role and responsibilities, and learn about how were you able to get to where you are today, whether you're the president, CEO, senior vice president, executive, whichever role it might be that you're aiming towards too. So then you can get some advice to help you achieve your goals too.
I love it. Well, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed this conversation. I learned this morning that we're both in Massachusetts, and so I'm looking forward to us meeting in person. Well, I think we've met in person, but to actually having a conversation or a cafecito in person, it'll be fun. Thank you so much for joining. If you want to learn about United Latinas, go to any of the accounts that you can see at the bottom of this page. United Latinas is a beautiful, beautiful community, and we'd love to have you join us. Join us next week for the Cafecito, and thank you, Caro, so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Valerie. Thank you for the opportunity.
You're
Pleasure
welcome.
to be here today.